Now let's talk about the iPhone 16e versus iPhone 10s. Let's get into it. So it's 2025. The 16e is currently the latest and also officially the cheapest brand new iPhone. So should you upgrade? Is it worth it, or should you save money on iPhone 10s? Or let's say you already have 10s, should you go for the 16e? What does it look like right now? Now, naturally, we have a quite a big of a performance increase because there is the Apple A18 chip inside of the iPhone 16e compared to the A12 Bionic, which is in the iPhone 10s, which of course is gonna serve for better speed and performance. But as you know, the 16e doesn't technically have the same chip as the 16 Pro, even though the name is practically the same, but it has like fewer GPU or fewer cores basically. So yeah, there is going to be a difference, but in some day-to-day tasks, perhaps you may not even see it for a while unless you open up too many apps at the same time or play very intensive games. A lot of people look at the camera situation, which is a little bit interesting because we have more camera lenses on an older device, right? So we have the regular as well as the telephoto lens on the backside of the iPhone 10s, whereas on the iPhone 16e, we only have one camera. But if you just compare them side by side, the size of the lens is just huge compared to the previous or the older generations, right? Which just means that more light can get into it. And at the end of the day, better shots are going to be performed with the single camera compared to the dual lens setup, right? So it might not work as well for portrait mode and stuff like this, but it is definitely a winner when we talk about the cameras. Like, you might be lacking the ultra wide, let's say, right? If you're making the comparison between some models which have the ultra wide camera, which you simply do not have on the 16e, but you don't have it on the 10s either. So I would say that in terms of the camera, even though we have technically fewer lenses, it is a much better camera on the 16e. And also, there is a 48 megapixel compared to 12 megapixels, so that says a lot as well. But moving on to some other things like the design and the display, well, of course, the phone looks a bit different, right? There is a difference in design. Like, the 16e lays flat on the table, right? It has like sharp edges, which might make a difference when you hold it for too long, but of course it's just a phone, it's light, it's not going to be like uncomfortable to hold it, even though the 10s has round edges which are supposed to lie comfortably in your hand. But yeah, that's like a very small and minor difference. Both devices have premium displays, but the 16e has a little bit more of a modern look with the flat edges, and it has slightly different build, obviously a few generations apart, but this is apparently just a design issue. So in terms of like the display department, there isn't that big of a difference. Like, you don't even have the ProMotion display on the 16e, which the device has been criticized for, that it only has like 60 hertz display, but you also have the same thing on the 10s. So if you want to upgrade your display, well, I don't think that you're making that big of a jump by upgrading to the 16e. Well, the cool thing about it is that we already have the USB-C port, so that's like a huge difference, right? That is really worth it on its own, if you ask me, because you can then use it with some other charging devices, right? It has the same connector, and with the older one, we have to like still use the Lightning, but yeah. And when it comes to like software support, of course, the 16e is brand new. It's going to get more software updates, so that's a good thing as well. But it also has a higher price tag. And this is where the difference is and the comparison becomes interesting, because it all depends on the price and condition, right? Because if you get the iPhone 10s, it is a used phone, so you will be able to buy it for a much cheaper price. And at that point, of course, the battery will likely not be at full capacity, and it might have some scratches here and there, but it will probably be worth it to get like a much cheaper 10s for at least a few years, even though the support will not be there for like a huge time after you buy it. But for a while, for the next 1 or 2 years, if you want to just get the 10s and you get a good deal, well, I personally think that it might not be that bad, right? So it really depends on the situation. like the 16E is brand new and you will likely not gonna be able to get it used right now, or not many good deals are gonna be available if you ask me. So that's kind of a thing to think about, right? Obviously the choice is yours if you want to stay with it, or if you are deciding between these phones, then you can just think about all of the points made in the video and let me know some of your thoughts below. I might actually be really interested in that, because perhaps there are some things I didn't mention, right? So let me know below in the comments. That would be about it. Hit the thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe for more so you never miss tutorials and videos like this one. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.